we have to build parks where no human intervention is, and so on. The idea of pristine economy, nature, for example, romanticism. There's the discussion always between it's a bit complicated. Preserve and conserve.
And I'm glad I've never been involved in that discussion. It sounds like it could be a bit boring.
Again, it's a question of.
I mean, if we think preserving really means holding in stasis, whereas conserving has this element of live or
exactly
in some process.
You got it already. It's just, you just have to understand the concepts or the labels or the theory which lie. You're going to have a discussion with people, once, and maybe without labeling themselves this way, you will understand that they're preservationists. And say, okay, well, how do we deal if I'm a
conservationist?
How do I deal with a person who thinks this way? How together we make a decision? It's just to understand the positions. Gaia also, like nature knows best. I don't know if nature knows best. We know that, and at every time, if you go back to the first life form to today, at any time there was only 0.1% of species, meaning that the destruction of species has occurred almost same amount of time as the
We live on an entropic planet, one which decays as well as bringing new things into life.
Exactly. So the idea that nature knows best, or
and this is also this idea you had of like there being this Garden of Eden which we can go back to if we removed ourselves or made up for our bad deeds. The idea is the human is the sort of the bad seed or the virus. Which once the body gets rid of it, it goes back to the green planet.
That would be more thought here of wilderness and pristine, where Gaia is more Mother Earth. So there's no. There's a word in French which is Mother Death. And if you understand,
Mère mort.
Mère marâtre. So we have to understand that nature is both. It is, as you said, there's decay and emergence. There's both. So if you only think in Gaia perspective, you only think very idealistically of a only giving birth, life system. And you're not thinking the other one, which is, it's taking almost as much life as it is giving life. If you really want to have an ecological consciousness, you should understand that there's both. So that's why I put Gaia here. Close
to a biocentric pole.
If you have this position of nature is Mother Nature. Only.
And then as we drift down, we've talked again about as we drift down below the line, you already mentioned these biopiracy and dumping on the one hand, extractivism, which is sort of quite well known. And you mentioned this word ecocide, but what do you mean by ecocide here?
Ecocide is like, genocide, humancide, anthropocide. It is the killing side, the side, the fetus side.
Can you give an example of this? This essentially means the destruction of ecological systems in the global south.
Yes, that means that this strong anthropocentric fossil capitalist system is producing right now an ecocide. Especially in the north, especially in the south, of course also in the north, but especially in the south. And we know that there's many, if you read Jared Diamond, that there's many cultures and civilization which we're ecosystemistic. I don't know. I'm just inventing a word.
Ecocidal.
Ecocidal, exactly.
So they destroyed the resources they depended upon, and therefore eventually died out as cultures.
Exactly.
They sawed off the branch they were perching on. Okay.
Without really having the knowledge and realizing it, and also having maybe a mindset, a spiritual mindset, which didn't allow them to go in another direction. We know also that the people in the south are less resilient because they have less technology, less power, less
infrastructure.
So this is why I put also this concept here. So ecocide, less resilient. So vulnerable. They're more vulnerable. And there's an uneven global risk, meaning that we know here in the global north, in Switzerland, that since the beginning of the industrial age, temperature have already risen 2 degrees. This is totally official. We know that it's 1 degree globally, but 2 degrees in Switzerland, for example. But we're much more resilient. We have much more the capacity, the power in Switzerland to adapt.
The money. As well.
But also the money is the fuel of technology and so on. And here they have much less. There's an uneven global risk for them. We are the ones dumping on them CO2, and they have much less possibility. So we know that climate change is global, but for them the risk is much bigger. So that's why I put this also here. Here, just put a few words like this is really on the sort of more spiritual part of animism, pantheism, indigenous values, because I wanted to put it somewhere.
And you're saying it rests in the environmentally these are knowledge systems which sort of have endured in the environmentally poor spaces.
Well,
not exclusively, surely.
No, not exclusively, but we know that at least if you look at Philippe Descola, you remember I presented. If you look at the map of belief systems, you understand that But I mean, even in the U.S., even for evangelical, God could not have created climate change. So they also have their belief system, which is.
Whereas these belief systems are closer to models of humans being a part of nature, of as you place them also closer to the biocentric model in terms of an idea of them
exactly.
being more.
So it's a stronger. The thing is, it's always going to be belief systems. This is also a belief system, the anthropocentric, the strong one. It's also,
there's a direct connection between organized religions and questions of domination or connection.
And if you read, what's his name? He wrote a text in the. Not everybody agrees with him, but he wrote a text in the 70s, I think maybe 60s or 70s, who says the origin of archaeological crisis comes from Christianity. Because in the Genesis, it is written...
We have dominion over plants and animals, and
exactly.
God has put them on the earth for our use. Yeah.
For our use. So a very instrumental, non-intrinsic value in itself conception of nature.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful when I think of belief systems. I know this is also a belief system, but I would like to say I'm stuck in this one as a human being, where here it looks much more, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of civilization which produce or were societal had also maybe